Oh, here we go. It's over, boys. I'm not going to be able to get Armed Dragon level 5. I'm still going to be able to use Soul Taker on whatever he synchros here. Is this 7 stars? This is probably going to be the Archer. Oh, no. This is going to be Junk Warrior. Okay. Chapter 5 for Light of Destruction. Oh, that's the end of the game. Chapter 5 is the last chapter. We won't get to that for a while. This is chapter 2. Next is chapter 3. After chapter 3, I think you do like all of the... I think chapter 4 is like all of the Dark Signers. So chapter 5 might even be considered like the post game. Like we'll already be about done with the game by that point, so we won't be able to do. Hey, he attacked the wrong one, Pog. We won't be able to do Gladiator Beasts in this playthrough, if that's the case. Dragon level 5. I'm gonna keep Soul Taker in my hand for now. Because I can just do this and then get Armed Dragon level 7. Oh, what does this do? I should have read this card. I did not realize that this thing had an effect that did this. Well, we lose now. That one's totally on me. That is totally on me. I just straight up did not read that. Well, we don't necessarily lose. It depends on what I draw, because I'm going to be able to do this. We'd be in an amazing spot if I had just done this first. I did not realize... It did not even occur to me that that card could be, hey, make other monsters stronger. Like, never in a million years did I expect for that card to have an effect like that. Ever. He drew another Junk Synchron. It's over. What about Gladiator's Assault? It doesn't matter. If Light of Destruction has the, like, half of the Gladiator Beast cards, and then Gladiator's Assault only has, like, half of them, then who cares? We're gonna make half of a Gladiator Beast deck with only half of the thing. The deck will suck. Draw Luster Dragon. That's Mass Dragon. This is literally one of the only monsters in my deck that does not have enough attack to make United We Stand work. Light of Destruction has 2 cards? What? Why did chat say that you need Light of Destruction for the Gladiator Beast deck if the Light of Destruction pack only has 2 Gladiator Beast cards? What are they? Is it like in Crystal Beasts where one of them is Sapphire Pegasus? What are the 2 cards? By the way, we're back in it. Light has Gizaris and Lash, the Bird Fusion. Oh, the Bird Fusion is the best card. Yeah, still not doing it. Gizaris is the best one. Gizaris is like the reason to run Gladiator Beasts. I'm amazed that after my throw, by the way, that we're still in this. Oh, Shield Wing. Thank you for getting rid of that. I hate that card. Gotta hit it 3 times to kill it. Did I play level 7 earlier and he destroyed it? No, that was in the Jack duel, so we get level 7 here. Even if you still wanted to, there are 7 duelists. You have to beat 3 times to get Assault. I mean, that's easy. That's 21 duels. We did that like last stream with the satellite duelists. Beating duelists 3 times is no problem. But I'm gonna be real with you. I really don't want to, I really don't want to make a Gladiator Beast deck without Gizaris. Still time-consuming? You're not technically wrong, but hear me out. Is it really time-consuming to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game? Like, you know. You take no battle damage. You can add 1 warrior type tuner with 1500 less events from your graveyard to your hand. What? Is that Vegeta? Is that Vegeta? What is this card? No. Was that Vegeta? 21 duels is grading? I mean, if you just do them all at once immediately, I guess. But like, what are you doing in this game other than dueling, right? Are you really like, are you playing through the game and you're like, oh, it's my 20th duel in a row. I really wish they'd just give me another box puzzle. I'm really here for the box puzzles. Why am I dueling so much? Like, you've gotta be joking me! Oh my goodness. Oh my word, Jack and Yusei just have perfect decks that have every card they need at every turn. 1 in 29 chance, I think it was, that he could draw a Mirror Force there, and he drew it. The one card he needed to win. I hate Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Yu-Gi-Oh sucks. Whose idea was it to have me play Yu-Gi-Oh on the channel? I drew Flame Veil Guard. Hey, don't draw a tuner. That's just as bad. He drew I think that's the only monster in his deck that can kill Flame Veil. I think it legit, other than like synchro summons, I think that is the only monster he could have drawn, and it's his second copy of it that he's drawn that could kill Flame Veil here. Like, are you joking me? This duel sucks, not the game. Brother, you gotta stop taking everything so literally. Like, straight up. Oh, that's game. I didn't draw a monster. Also, this duel, the Jack duel, and the duel before this all sucked, so at some point, you gotta stop. 30% of the duels in the game suck. This game doesn't suck, though. I like this game. But Yu-Gi-Oh as a concept sucks a lot of the time. There's a reason I only play Yu-Gi-Oh every now and then, and it's not something that I like play consistently. We may have conquered all of Satellite, but there's still a lot more to learn. Nobody knows what might happen in the days to come. I've realized that I should treat every single duel as though it were my last. We need a deck upgrade. I mean, we do need a better deck, but that duel with Yusei had nothing to do with the deck we had. He top decked every card that he needed. Like, my dude got Mirror Force, Junk Synchron, Max Warrior every single time he needed it, Like, that stops being about the deck and starts being about Yu-Gi-Oh. Callen especially seems out of it. Maybe everyone's just burned out a bit. Yo, Callen's about to kill a 4-year-old. Let's watch. Oh, what's wrong? Is that all you got? You're no match for me at all. You don't have any right to call yourself a duelist. Wah, sniffle, sniffle. Crying won't make anything better. Now come on, it's your turn. Go on and bring out that pathetic little card I know you want to play. It won't save you. Callen. Callen, you're being rude. Get out of my way. Have you ever tried the NG Plus of this game on your own or stream? I used to exclusively NG Plus this game. Anytime I wasn't NG Plus in this game was a time where I like used an AR code to get all the cards. The Yu-Gi-Oh games get amazingly better when you NG Plus them, because then you just have access to more cards, and thus you don't have to deal with the early game like not having great decks. What's wrong, Rogue? Why so jittery? Sounds like something big is going down outside. I wonder what happened. You tell the story of how Callen got angry at that young duelist and how you couldn't stop him. I mean, I didn't really try to stop him, to be fair. What? Really? Callen? We gotta go stop him. You You should play Sacred Cards for your next Yu-Gi-Oh game? No. I'm doing Over the Nexus after this whenever I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh again. You losers need to quit hanging around in front of our hideout. Listen, if you're gonna duel with all you've got. What do you lose on NG+? Just the story progression? It literally just puts you at the start of the game, but you have all of your cards and stuff that you unlock. So, like, yeah, I think card packs are still available and whatnot. So, you know. When I was younger, basically anytime I wanted to play the game over again, I would always just do New Game Plus, because then I just got to use whatever decks I wanted, basically. Callen, stop it! Hey, you, get out of here! What do you think you're doing, Crow? I'd like to ask you the same thing. What do you think you're gaining by doing this? Weeding out the weaklings, that's what. And if anyone's not rolling with us, they're our enemies. How else are we gonna conquer all of Satellite? You think we have to start hurting little kids like that, though? Yeah, we do. We don't need any wannabe duelists around here, no matter how old they are. Yeah, dude, yeah, age is but a number or whatever. I thought dueling was about the ability to have fun whenever you want, no matter who you are. We literally use it to fight gangs, Crow. What gives you the right to take that away from any of us? What? I'm done. I'm through with this team. All right, it seems like a bit of an extreme reaction. You ever think about, like, talking it out with your lifelong friends instead of just immediately quitting? Crow. Hey, I thought we were a team. Crow, you're just gonna turn your back on your friends like that? Callen actually has an excellent point here. It's so funny how Callen ends up blaming Yusei for all of the stuff that goes down with the Enforcers, when really it's like Crow and Jack are mostly to blame. I mean, Callen is to blame for acting like a scumbag and all, but Yusei does his best to stick with Callen and do whatever he can to help him because, you know, they're like lifelong friends. But Jack and Crow are just like, deuces, I'm out. All that friendship nonsense, couldn't care less. Callen yelled at a 5-year-old. I'm out of here. I think it's worse in the anime. Callen, like, picks fights with cops and stuff like that. But even then, like, just Crow and Jack are like, see you later, sucker. Jack! Hey, Jack, Crow! You say we're a team, right? We're friends, right? They didn't draw the friendship hand thing, or they were really friends. That stupid thing Taya did in OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it didn't, like, draw on their hands or whatever. Come on, say something. I'm giving up on you. Oh, I guess I'm also leaving. Rogue. Yeah, sorry, I gotta go get brainwashed. Talk to you later. The next day, that was fun. You play Yu-Gi-Oh! Nexus? I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Nexus is. I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Over the Nexus, which is the 2011 game that comes after this one. Over the Nexus and Reverse of Arcadia are my favorite games. My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. They're not my favorite games. Of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, I think they are the least frustrating and therefore the most fun. I'm gonna duel this random dude. There are like 3 people down here that we have not dueled at all. I'm not gonna duel all 3 of them 3 times because I'm done with being in Satellite. I want to move on, but I just want to get a duel going. Bum, 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 bum. Victory is already mine, by the way. Can I stop having these 1 monster, 4 spell and trap opening hands? This has happened like 6 times today. Numbing grub of the ice barrier. Okay. Over the Nexus is my favorite because it has more cards, but it has the most frustrating duel of all 3. I mean, it has more frustrating... 3 has more frustrating duels and mini games than Reverse of Arcadia. Also, Reverse of Arcadia covers my favorite part of the anime, which is the Dark Signers. Why didn't I put Tools of the Bandit face down? I'm on autopilot. Over the Nexus does not have that many more cards than... Ooh, he synchro summoned. I'm in trouble. Alright, that's a problem. We're in a bad space. I didn't put my cards face down because I knew he was going to summon Gungner and be able to do the destruction thing. Let's go! This man is playing Ice Bear. He'd be better playing cards he fish out of the bottom of a well. Yeah, tell that to Gungner, buddy. It's looking pretty good for him so far. I have to put enough cards face down that if he uses his effect, then he's hard-pressed for what to target. I just need Call of the Haunted here so I can get Catastor. Any deck is good if your opponent gets a bad hand. Very true. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course. He targeted literally the one. He had a 33... I knew he was going to target the monster, so there was a 33% chance of us winning here. And... Or no, there was a 67% chance of us winning, 33% chance of him guessing right and winning. I regret walking down here to initiate a duel in the first place. Dude, I was so excited to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, and we've just had so many unlucky duels. Like, so many of the duels our opponents have just top-decked exactly what they need to win each time. This does nothing. Just get me out of here. It has not been a good day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm really tired of this deck. I want a better deck. But we just don't have... Hello, controller? Are you okay? I don't know why I say controller. It's not the controller, it's the emulator. This doesn't happen when I play Game Boy games and whatnot. I'm switching back to Desmume with the new year. If you want a piece of advice from me, if you're looking to emulate DS stuff, don't use Melon DS. Use Desmume. Melon DS is just, it gives me nothing but problems. I feel like I never had an issue with Desmume. Rogue. I don't think I told you this yet. Oh, it's the story about Goodwin. Looks like the very best decks are all locked very late game. That is by far the worst thing about the Yu-Gi-Oh! DS games. Is that so many of the good packs and the good cards, and thus the fun archetypes and whatnot, are locked to the post-game. They make you use relatively, like, they make you use mid-tier to crummy decks for most of the game. And then at the very end, they're like, hey, here's all the fun stuff that's, like, actually good. Like, all of the enjoyable cards. It's the worst part of these. You only have to deal with it once, though. Because once you beat the game once, then you just get all the card packs unlocked and get the cards you want. And then you just NG+, and you keep them all. So then the game actually becomes way more fun. The Yu-Gi-Oh! DS games are, like... I would rank them like 5 out of 10. They're like a 5 out of 10 your first playthrough. Every subsequent playthrough, they're like a 7 or even an 8 out of a 10 for a DS game at least. Like, they are drastically more fun on repeat plays just because you have so many more fun things you can do, as opposed to how incredibly limited they make you in the early game. Or not even the early game, but the first playthrough. Like, incredibly so. The story about the man who once tried to liberate Satellite. A long time ago, that guy came riding into town on a very strange-looking dual runner. Whee! He didn't have a head. It was very strange. He would come to this exact spot and just stare off into the distance towards the city. Every single day, without fail, he'd just come and look. But one day, he stopped coming. He found a purpose in life. He knew he had to... Oh my goodness, he has a head. He knew he had to build a bridge to connect Satellite with the city. Daedalus Bridge. Yo, Daedalus, can I... I want a water deck with Daedalus in it. I like Daedalus decks. Everybody said it couldn't be done and that he was crazy for even thinking about it. But he never gave up. Those people who made fun of him at first gradually started thinking maybe he would finish it. For the residents of Satellite who merely recycle the trash coming from the city each day, For those people with no bright future, the bridge became their symbol of hope. Did they donate lumber to his bridge? Unfortunately, some folks showed up that didn't like the idea for this new bridge being built. Securities. Construction was stopped and the person who started it all hit the top of Security's most wanted. Yes, hello, you're under arrest for building a bridge. Well, he was probably building it on, like, private land, now that I think about it. Did he own the rights to that spit of land on that bridge? Everybody gave up on the idea and said it was doomed from the start. They figured he'd get arrested. Eventually, Securities did catch up to him. He had two options. One was to turn himself in and spend his life in a cell, or he could turn himself into a living legend. He chose to become a legend. How great would this story have been if he was like, yeah, he just ended up in prison. To this day. A legend not bound by common sense or any kind of powers, that's why he jumped. Nobody knows what happened to him after that. He probably, like, became the director of Satellite or something. But I have so much respect for him and what he tried to do. He's basically the reason I started dueling in the first place. But now... Crow, thank goodness you're here. Whoa, calm down, what's up? Something real bad. Callen is fighting against Securities all by himself. What? Where? In the building that used to be the hideout for Team Black and Blue. That idiot, what's he thinking? Rogue, get everyone together and let's go help Callen. I'll go look for Jack, you go find Yusei. He should be in the hideout, if not, look around for him. When you find him, meet back up at the hideout. I'm counting on you. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna be really leisurely about it, though. I'm gonna go look at the card packs. See if we can maybe get something we can work with.